So I started wrestling when I was 11, and obviously wrestled at Oklahoma State, ended wrestling at 24, and been coaching, since the late 90s. So I'm 55 almost. So 44 years of doing this, and as a full-time career for just starting my 25th year. I guess you can say I've had a normal job, and quarter of a century, all I've done is coach wrestling with our academy, which has exploded into camps and a lot of different things, our online academy, so forth. The number one thing I've seen just really over the past decade would be we don't train to failure every practice. Wrestlers are known for that. Coaches are known for that. Being tough, being the most difficult sport. And it still is, but just some common sense. There's concepts of resting your nervous system. I remember years ago, I knew a guy got his resting heart rate taken, and they said, "You're done. You're off the mat for 2 weeks." And they were at the Olympic Training Center. And the guy was just a chronically overtrained and did it to himself as well. And I always say I would probably not have worked so hard as a wrestler, because that was encouraged, And I'm not saying we shouldn't work hard. I'm saying, when Penn State has been working with that company, and they just lost their 10-year contract, I think it is, and now that company's working with Oklahoma State, Iowa. Well, I think Oklahoma State went with a different company, but these guys have heart rate monitors. I was in the Oklahoma State wrestling room. My nephew was on a visit. There's a computer screen on the wall, and they're checking these guys' resting heart rate, and they're wearing these monitors. And, it's just more common sense training. Not that a high school coach is going to do this. Most high school coaches' problem is kids don't train enough. They only take 8 months a year off, and then wonder why they don't get a D1 scholarship for $200,000. But there's a handful of you out there and coaches who maybe could learn from the fact that, hey, if you're putting in a lot of year-round time, you don't want to train to fatigue or to failure every day. You don't want to train to failure for a morning practice and then to train to failure again for your evening practice. A lot of the colleges don't do early morning practices anymore. They let their guys sleep. I've been ranting against morning practices for 35 years. I think they're just silly. Not 9 o'clock in the morning. The colleges do that. But this 5:45, 6 a.m. stuff, I think is silly in high school. So think about also weightlifting, not training to failure in the weight room. Every time we're in the weight room, we train to complete and total failure, doing drop sets and negatives. That's what we did. And we wonder why at the end of the year, we're so mentally and physically, and even neurologically exhausted. You just want some relief. I'd say that's the number one thing that I've seen specifically over the past decade. It's a little bit more smarter approach. So consider that, take it or leave it. Thank you for watching. Always subscribe, share this with somebody. You'll see more of our stuff if you interact with it. That's how the algorithm works. So if you like what we're doing, you can also check us out at perlerwrestling.com. We have 5 programs for you, no matter where you live in America. Hell, we have 5-6 kids from overseas come to camps this past summer. And they train with us all over the nation and even the world. So our online academy could be for you as well. So either way, appreciate it. I'm gonna have to run this hill. Gotta try to stay in shape.